Let's roll. Welcome to Winter Game Central. I am Gabe Morency on the SportsGrid television network. Let's do this thing. Good news, bad news. Good news is we still have 5 more days of competitive events to break down as far as the Olympic Games are concerned. But we've only got 3 more shows to do it, and it does feel like, listen, this is it. We're into the final week right now, so it's getting real, and it's getting real on the ice right now, specifically for the men's hockey. The women's final is already set. Of course, USA and Canada, no surprises there, but we could have some surprises in the men's bracket. So let's start off with what went down today in men's hockey. The Germany, I tell you what, Matthew Tkachuk talked smack to Leon Draisaitl after the USA beat Germany in the preliminary round action a couple of days ago, and I couldn't help but think, I was like, I can see the Germans sort of surprising everybody, and Germany's got a favorable matchup. And, look, if you're the United States, you've got to deal with Sweden, which isn't easy. And you're Germany, you've got Slovakia. You beat Slovakia, you've got a chance to win a bronze medal after, right? And Germany, a bronze medal would be massive. Hockey is not a popular sport in Germany. Although its popularity is growing, it's obviously a soccer nation and a bobsled nation as well, dominant with the bobsled. But it would be a massive growth for the sport of hockey in Germany if they were able to get a medal. Now, not there yet, but they're a step closer with their victory today. Czechia survives today against the Danes. It wasn't easy for them against Denmark. Frederik Andersen is the goalie. Carolina Hurricanes goaltender is the goalie for Denmark. And you have an NHL goalie, right? He can steal the game for you. He can keep you in the game. Albeit, the Czech Republic have survived, and normally a very powerful hockey nation, but they're just sort of off in this tournament, right? As good as these players are, they don't really play together very often. In fact, NHL players haven't played together since 2014 in the Olympics. So short of playing in the World Championships, which not everybody does, it's not easy. Just because you're from the same country doesn't mean you're all just going to come together and have great chemistry on the ice, right? So for whatever reason, I don't think Pasternak is 100% right now. I think he's fighting an injury that they're not telling us about. The Czechs are getting by, but they're vulnerable. So good news, bad news for Czechia's hockey team. Good news is you survived and you beat Denmark. Bad news is you play Canada now. Canada are 2.5 goal favorites in this game. Switzerland are another one. They got a free pass basically by playing Italy. It's weird how some teams finished lower in the group and actually got easier matchups, but the Swiss did. So the Swiss have gotten a free pass, and they're a game away from potentially playing for a medal as well. But are they going to beat Finland? They've got a shot. They've got a shot against Finland. I don't think they do, but we'll go over the potential upsets on the ice. And this is one. Finland are better than they are, though, and Finland seem to be pretty locked in right now. And Finland are kind of the kings of bronze medals in these things. Finland are really good, but they're not going to beat Canada good type thing, but they always sort of get the bronze on the way out. It's go ahead, Finland. Yeah, Finland finished in 3rd place, huh? We'll see if Finland can sort of rock the boat a little bit and take it a step further, but they've got a favorable situation in playing Switzerland as well. Now, we can't really tell you who's going to play who after because they reseed everything, right? So there's a lot of different scenarios that can happen, which leads us into Sweden and the U.S., So once again, it's a good news, bad news scenario. If you're the Swedes, the good news is you just played your best hockey of the tournament. Sweden looked dominant today. Sweden were locked in. It's taken Sweden. We talked about them before the tournament. They're very moody, and their coach is very temperamental. Things can go well for the Swedes, and they're dangerous. Things go bad for the Swedes, and it's like trying to put together IKEA furniture. You're just going to get angry, and everything falls apart, right? But the Swedes are starting to get on the same page right now as far as their lines, what's my role, who's the goalie, right? Sweden struggled with Gustafsson earlier in the tournament. Markstrom has taken over. So the good news is Sweden played your best game. Bad news is you got to play the USA. But the fact of the matter is, whatever, you're in this tournament and you're trying to win the tournament, you're trying to get on the podium and finish in a top three. Fact is, you're going to have to play Canada or the U.S. at some point, right? Like, you'd rather do it in the final, but it is what it is. So Sweden gets the U.S. right now, and I'll tell you what, for you American hockey fans that are thinking, you know what, USA are minus 220 favorites, it should be fine. I don't know if people have a short memory or not, but everybody talks about, Canada and the U.S. last year in the Four Nations. The fact of the matter is, Sweden beat the U.S. in the Four Nations. And in fact, it was 1 year ago today, literally 1 year ago today, Sweden beat the United States in the Four Nations. Now they're playing tomorrow. You want to get a little bit deeper here, and I don't want to freak out American hockey fans right now, but this is pretty wild. The U.S. haven't beaten Sweden in the Olympics since February of 1960. They played 8 times. They've either lost or tied the last 8 times they've played in the Olympics. And now they're facing off in an elimination game, obviously, tomorrow. This is going to be a fun game. Now, the prelims were kind of just an appetizer, right? Like, there were a lot of one-sided and, blowouts and mismatches. Now it's getting real, and tomorrow it's getting real, for real. All right, so we'll get back to some best bets as far as the hockey is concerned. Speaking of getting real today, I'm sure a lot of people watched it that are watching today because we were talking on Twitter while it was going on. The men's Big Air final today with Matt Forehand from the U.S. and Tormod Frostad from Norway throwing it down. And I'm not going to pretend to be a Big Air expert here, but I have been around long enough to see the difference. And as the analyst was saying during the competition, she goes, I remember when like a 980 and a 1060 would win you a gold medal. Now they're doing like 1980s and stuff. Like, to put in context, Forehand spun around 5.5 times. Like, literally 5.5 times in the air. People used to do it twice, and they'd be like, whoa, hey, look at that. Like, you know what I mean? 5.5 times. Unbelievable performance. And, they had 3 runs each, and Forehand, drilled it. His last 2 runs, he was awesome. And the last one was, really good. And the thing is, Forehand was trying crazy things. Like, he's, exploded into the air, off the ramp. And, he sort of, tried, sort of flashier things. But, like I said, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert here. Frostad, though, when you saw it, it was like, God damn, that was pretty much perfect. Like, Frostad's form was perfect, yet I thought the score was overblown at 98.2 or whatever it was. It was 98, and he needed a 97, Yeah, there was no more runs to come, so it was what it was. These guys understand it's going to come down to a decimal point and the score and all that. They all seem to be buddies. They all compete on the X Games circuit and stuff. You saw Forehand wasn't upset when he lost. I was upset when he lost because I bet on him. That men's Big Air is wild stuff, though, man. Wild stuff. I saw they take an elevator up to the top, and it's 18 stories, 18 floors. They're 180 feet high, and they're already on a mountain. So think about it. They're already on this big, massive mountain. And then on top of it, they get in an elevator and go 18 stories, 18 floors high in an elevator. They get out, and that's where they go down from. It's you wouldn't even, when you see the video, I reposted it. There's a video out there. You wouldn't even want to get in this elevator thing. When you see the mountain around you and everything, you're basically in this piece of metal going up there. It's some hardcore stuff, man, that men's Big Air. But congratulations to Frostad. It was an epic watch. Yet I got to be honest, I've done very well with the hockey, and I've done okay with curling and stuff, but man, we've fallen short and finished second in a lot of these competitions, including the men's biathlon, the relay. Team France and Norway was basically a 2-country race, and France ended up getting it done, and we'll hit the women's biathlon. And a pretty weird story about Team. Right.
We went against this god-awful biggest waste of human flesh and basketball uniform Western Illinois team last time out. Remember, they actually won a game against Eastern Illinois. Only their 5th win on the season, 5-21. Only their 1st win in conference play in the Ohio Valley. They're hosting Little Rock. You know, Little Rock is 6-8. They're halfway decent. I mean, they're better than 5-21.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
They're probably not going to take a lot of Seattle bets. Putting Kansas City at the same number as Detroit or behind LA, way behind Green Bay, way behind Buffalo or Baltimore, who they beat every year, it feels like they are asking for Chiefs money. That would be my read on it, which I feel like usually the idea, Cam, is they never have to ask for Chiefs money.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Was last night so tough for you to swallow that you now want to get rid of the owner?
Yeah, that's right.
Because the big bad Knicks came into town off an embarrassing loss.
On a back
and you
to
guys
back.
are flexing your muscles.
We're
about
not
how
flexing anything.
We're back.
Nope.
We're back. And you lost by 50.
Yeah, well, this is the problem.
Let's make the owner sell the team because
he ducked the luxury
Sixers
tax.
can't compete.
The Craig Carton Show only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. Winter Games Central continues on the SportsGrid television network. I am Gabe Morency. So as the games continue, last night we gave you Norway. And listen, Norway are the king of these Nordic sports and cross-country this and that. And you had the men's relay team. But we did tell you, listen, it's a two-country, like, race here. Like, Norway are the favorites, but France are the second choice. And France are really good at this stuff. And I saw a funny tweet, actually, somebody posted about how it's strange that a country that loves guns as much as the U.S. does isn't good at the only Olympic sport that you actually use a gun. Think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Shouldn't there be someone from, like, Wyoming or Montana or something that's a good skier and is good with a gun? Right? But nevertheless, so we were talking about Norway, and now we got the women's relay coming up. And I've been following this all week, guys. Like, I've been following the biathlon all week. So I speak from experience here, and maybe I can finally get my damn money back because I have bet on every French woman this week, except for one of them. All right. So you got 4 in the relay, but there's like 2 of them that are like dominant type thing. And every time I take one of them, the other one wins. Like, I seriously, like, the other day, like, it ruined my, like, half my day the other day. Like, I literally, it was like 6:30 in the morning. And I'm like, son of an effing. And I'm going off. Like, I'm like, I'm like, no, the girl with the red hair. I want the girl with the red hair. Like, I'm getting them confused. They're skiing around here. I'm like, no. And the other one won. And then I did, like, the other, so there was, like, another race. Literally. So I took Genamont. So I took Genamont to win gold in one of them. She won silver, and Julia Simon won gold. Then there was another race, like another distance or whatever. And then I did like the same, I did the opposite, and it was like vice versa. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, I keep on picking the French women, but I'm getting the wrong one all the time. Right? So now I got them all together. All right? So I'm just taking this team. All right, we're taking a woman here. We're taking a woman French team to win. And it's actually, ironically enough, it's not Norway that's the other competitor here. It's the Swedes. The women's Swede biathlon relay team are deadly as well. But the French have dominated all the individual events this week. So I'm going with Team France, all right? And we'll give it our best bets here. But this is the wild story here about, every day there's some weird story in the Olympics. But this is a real weird one. And so we just told you about Julia Simon of France. She just won a gold medal a couple of days ago. I think she got a gold and a silver this week. Like, she's been killing it, whatever. But she just got convicted. She literally just got convicted of committing credit card fraud. Except what's weird about this is she committed credit card fraud against one of her teammates that's actually in this race today. Like, they're still racing together. And it turned out that she also used, like, the team's credit card and stuff. Like, she was pretty shady. She used, like, she got her hand on, like, the athletic training budget credit card once and racked up a bunch of, like, expensive gifts and stuff. And she denied doing it for 3 years. It was like this big controversy, and they couldn't prove it and stuff until they actually caught her, like, on Instagram with one of the items or something. Like, it was like, you know, one of these type of deals. So she's actually been, like, charged and this. She says she doesn't remember that it's like a blackout. I confess, like, she denied it for 3 years, but she goes, I confess the accusations, but I don't remember committing them. It's like a blackout. I find my actions incomprehensible. I don't remember even doing them. I'm working with a psychologist to understand what happened. The crimes were committed in 2021, but were covered up by the French Association. Only came to light later after Simon had won the first of her 10 world championships. So it's bizarro world. This, like, she's literally like the best in the world, and right. And it's crazy because her teammate became the target of like online abuse, that she was jealous of her more successful teammate, and her more successful teammate would never do that. And it turned out she did. So the French Ski Federation imposed a 6-month ban on Simon. 5 months were suspended, meaning she only missed one event. And she was eligible to compete in the Olympics. She helped the team to win the gold medal in the 4x6 relay, blah, blah. So like all she does is win, this girl. So we're going Team France once again. We're riding with the French women. We're riding with the French women on this one. All right, speaking of more, we got some more interesting storylines here. USA's Michaela Schifrin. She's minus 150 to win gold. She's racing in the slalom. This is her best event. All right, this is unbelievable. 71 of her record 108 World Cup wins have come in the slalom, more than any skier in any discipline ever. All right, and all right, what's her form right now this year? This season alone, she's won 6 of the 7 slalom events on the pro circuit. So she's locked in. She's minus 150. It should be noted the second choice is a big drop off to plus 550. So, you know, if you don't think it's going to be Schifrin, you could take a look at Camille Rast from Switzerland at plus 550, and Germany's Emma Eicher is the third choice at plus 800. Schifrin's a heavy favorite for a reason. I think she should be able to get it done here, although I really haven't won a lot of these gold medal bets. Like, I've literally finished second almost like every time. It's getting pretty frustrating, actually, but I'm stubborn, and we still have 5 days. We still have 5 days left, and there's still a lot of events left, right? Like, and what's cool is we're getting into the finals of this and finals of that. The speed skating is cool. But tomorrow we'll check in with the curling now that we're into this, the semifinals and a knockout and all that type of stuff, and it's getting for real. The curling has been a fun story, but the skiing is super cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's cool about the Winter Olympics. Just these sports that you never really see before. They're not really on TV. Like, if you're into the X Games, you see some of this big air stuff and the mogul stuff. But, right, like, I've always loved the downhill skiing, man. Right? Team Canada used to be really good and have some great downhill skiers. That was a long time ago. They were called the Crazy Canucks. Remember Steve Podborski and Ken Reed? Guys used to fly down the hill. But, man, downhill skiing at the Olympic level, like the speed that they are going, like, to put in context, Lindsey Vonn was going 91 miles an hour when she crashed. Think about going 91 miles an hour in a car, let alone going 91 miles an hour just on 2 pairs of, like, microfiber aluminum skis, and you're going 91 miles an hour down a hill. Not to mention there's, like, the hill is dead.
We went against this god-awful biggest waste of human flesh and basketball uniform Western Illinois team last time out. Remember, they actually won a game against Eastern Illinois. Only their 5th win on the season, 5-21. Only their 1st win in conference play in the Ohio Valley. They're hosting Little Rock. You know, Little Rock is 6-8. They're halfway decent. I mean, they're better than 5-21.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
They're probably not going to take a lot of Seattle bets. Putting Kansas City at the same number as Detroit or behind LA, way behind Green Bay, way behind Buffalo or Baltimore, who they beat every year, it feels like they are asking for Chiefs money. That would be my read on it, which I feel like usually the idea, Cam, is they never have to ask for Chiefs money.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Was last night so tough for you to swallow that you now want to get rid of the owner?
Yeah, that's right.
Because the big bad Knicks came into town off an embarrassing loss.
On a
and you
back-to-back.
guys are flexing your muscles
They
about
were not
how
flexing anything.
we're back.
Nope.
We're back. And you lost by 50.
Yeah, well, this is the problem.
Let's make the owner sell the team because
he ducked the luxury
Sixers
tax.
can't compete.
The Craig Carton Show only on SportsGrid.
All right, let's do this. Let's get into some best bets. I got to tell you, man, this show always flies by. We hope you've enjoyed our Olympic coverage throughout the games. We've got a couple of more shows with you, just 2 more to go, actually. We won't be on Friday night due to Liga MX Women's League Soccer. So we will be on with you Wednesday night and Thursday night with all the winter game coverage as the hockey is starting to get real right now. So let's start off on the ice. No rest for the wicked. I'm going to tell you what, but there's been a lot of talk about rest and a day off and stuff like that in the Olympics, and there's been a lot of talk about these teams, and Germany has to play again right away, and Switzerland and Sweden, that quick turnaround, and Sweden has to play the USA, but I don't really buy into that too much. Like, to put in context, look, Canada played France the other day, and they beat France 11-2. The following day, Canada had a practice. What do you think was harder for Team Canada? The practice that they went through or beating France 11-2 in a game? Right? So it's like, yeah, it was an off day, but they practiced hard that day. It wasn't like they went to the beach for the afternoon. So, and the other thing is, like, yeah, it's a quick turnaround, and I get it, but if you're playing well, you want a quick turnaround. Things are going well for you if you're hot. And also, yeah, it's a quick turnaround, but it's very similar to playing in the bubble in the NBA, right? And remember, in the NBA bubble, there's no travel. Right? And I heard it so many times today, but Sweden, the USA have had a day off and this and that. And it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. So Sweden play in the afternoon, they'll eat dinner, they'll go to bed, and they play again tomorrow. It's not like they're getting on a plane and they're flying to Edmonton or something. Right? Like, so I don't really buy into the lack of rest, especially if you're playing well. I would imagine you want to keep it going. You're going to have 2 really fired up teams here with Slovakia and Germany. Slovakia, not in a million years, thought that they were going to be in this position. They believed in themselves, and they did win a bronze medal in the last Olympics without NHL players. But to be in a situation where, like, look at the other teams. Like, Czechia have to play Canada. Sweden have to play the USA, or they have to play each other. Even Finland and Switzerland. Switzerland aren't bad. They're good. Like, if you're Slovakia and Germany, you've both been given this, like, blessed opportunity by playing each other. I mean, one of you are going to the semifinals. Just point blank. Germany or Slovakia, one of you are going to have an opportunity to be playing for a medal. And they're going to be aware of this. So I ask you, Slavkovsky's the best player on Slovakia, Montreal Canadiens. Number 1 pick in the draft like 3 years ago, whatever. And he's really playing well. Like, people are saying that he's been like the standout player, like, on all the European teams. Slavkovsky's been amazing, but Germany have more. They've got Leon Draisaitl. They have Tim Stützle. They've got Philipp Grubauer's their goalie. You know, the Germans are sneaky good. I talked about them before the tournament. They're a sneaky good hockey team with star power up front. They're disciplined at the back. They've got good goaltending. They're going to find a way to beat the Slovaks here. The game is essentially a pick'em, right? And it's kind of flipping back and forth, to be honest with you. Like Slovakia were minus 120 and Germany are minus what this. Like now suddenly the Germans are minus 115. It seems as the game approaches, and this is the first game up at 6:10 a.m. Eastern time, 3 Pacific in the morning, West Coast. It seems like everybody in the hockey world is taking Germany because they've got Leon Draisaitl, right? Leon Draisaitl is one of the best players in the world. No disrespect to Slavkovsky, but we're going to go with the Germans here to get it done. Canada and Czechia will lay the 2.5 with the Canadians. Czechia are going to be a problem for Canada in a sense, but Czechia look tired already. They're not themselves. They don't have any real offensive spark, this Czechia team right now. They have a really good goalie, the Anaheim Duck goalie. Dostali's really good. But when it's all said and done, Canada's going to be too much. They already played in the opening round. It was 5-0. Netchis was joking that we let them win because we knew we couldn't beat Canada 2 times in the same week. He was joking. He said it with a laugh. He goes, no, we let them win earlier in the week because we knew we couldn't beat them twice in the same week. He said, you'll see tomorrow. But it's funny because I heard the Czech players talking about playing Canada after they played them already, and they said that it was harder than they thought even. So they said, yeah, we knew they were going to be good, but they were even better than we thought. Canada's going to win, same thing, 5-0, 4-1, 5-1, you know what I mean? Canada rolls, lay the 2.5 in that hockey game. We're going to go with Mikael Shiffrin to win gold medal. Get it done. In the slalom, Mikael Shiffrin gets it done. We're going to go the French women's biathlon team to win gold in the women's relay. And a bonus pick here. We picked Sweden to win a medal. But you know what's wild about this? If Sweden wins this game, they would end up probably having to play Canada. Like, this is pretty whacked out. Like, so even then, they're still kind of like, you know, this bracket has been whacked. Like, the USA and Canada have to play harder teams than Finland and Switzerland and Germany do, which doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. USA have not beaten Sweden since 1960 in the Olympics. I kind of get the feeling that they will, but by 1 goal, and it will not be easy. Give me the Swedes plus 1.5.
You're just trying to always build around what somebody does well. What is the DNA, the nucleus of what they do? Yeah. And you everybody who gets to the tour is great at something because they're the top 1% of the 1% of golfers around the world. So I think people sometimes forget that, oh, that won't work. Well, if you'd gone back 15 years, people would look at Scottie Scheffler and probably go, that's not going to work.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl Sunday, about $870 million was traded. Again, I caution you, that is not the same as sports betting handle for a variety of reasons, but we also saw Nevada sportsbooks, which includes Las Vegas, only took about $133 million in handle. That was its worst performance in the decade in terms of total handle on the game. Now, we don't have ratings. We don't have a lot of other things. There's a lot of reasons for that.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? Mm-hmm. The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
So you know Gary Bettman wants the USA to win because he knows the bump that they can get out of this. Canada wins, and it's like, yeah, whatever, right? And the level of pressure on Canada in this is next level. It's like it's equivalent to like Argentina in soccer or something, Brazil. It's one of those like, yeah, if you lose, don't bother coming home.
Winter Game Central, only on SportsGrid.